Welcome back guys to another video. It's been a little while since we've actually done like a talking recipe, so we're going to start off with a bit of a winter warmer today. The weather has definitely turned, everything's a bit autumnal, so we're going to try and do a fire roasted tomato soup. So I have in front of me a couple of different things, mostly going to be tomatoes, but we're going to throw in a red pepper and also an onion. I have a bit of a mix of kind of larger vine tomatoes, little cherry vines, and a couple of big beef tomatoes here. There's about 1.4 kilos. We're going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes in there as well, just to add a little bit extra in on top of it all. If we move that to the side, the other main ingredient then is chicken stock. Now, that might not make sense for a chicken soup. If you want to do something vegetarian, swap it over veg. This is a homemade chicken stock I had in the freezer, so I wanted to use it up and I thought the soup was probably perfect to use it in. If you want to see a video in future of how to make your own stock, let me know. I kind of want to do it again now that I've used this batch up. Then we're going to make everything in my Petromax Dutch oven. So we'll fire roast off the veg first, and then we'll get everything in here and put together with a few different flavours just to get it going. But this is the perfect vessel to make it in. Now I do have one other thing, and that is a bulb of garlic. Again, I want to try and keep those like roast flavours in it. So instead of just putting the garlic in with everything else, I actually wrapped up in a little bit of foil ahead of time while the barbecue's warming up, and put the bulb on there just to roast it down. Then we can add that roast garlic into the final soup mix. I added a little sprinkling of the lemon, chilli and garlic rub in there as well, just to give it a bit of flavour, but we're going to add more of these flavours back into this soup at the end anyway, so I think it's going to be good. So let's get these roasted off first, into the bowl to steam the skins off them, and then we'll come back and show how to put everything else together. Okay, veggies are off. Into the bowl, cover them in cling film. That lets a bit of steam build up, and the skins will start to kind of come away naturally, so it should make it a little bit easier whenever we come to actually take these apart and get the flesh from the actual fruit. Don't really want skin, we don't want the stems and stuff in there, so we're going to get rid of all of that. Our little garlic bulb is nice and squishy and soft here, so I'm going to let that cool down as well at the same time. So we'll give this 10-15 minutes, and we'll come back and try and get all these skins off and get the bits we actually want. Okay, it is, of course, for autumn in Northern Ireland, raining on and off. However, we're going to crack on. So our veggies have been steaming away for, I'm sure, a good 10 minutes now. I think we should be just about ready to go. So if we pop them open, so they're still warm, but hopefully they're not so hot that we can't handle them. You can kind of use your thumbs to tease off the majority of that kind of dark skin that we don't want. Don't worry about getting it all. If there's a little bit left in there, it's just that kind of added char flavour, but we want to get the most of the black stuff off. You can keep a separate bowl to the side to keep your stuff in that you don't want. Make a cut down into it. We'll try and get as many of the seeds out in one piece as we can. Just kind of get rid of that section. Okay, you can use the back of your knife to kind of scrape the rest of the seeds and stuff out that we don't want. Just take the little ends off. Next up then, we'll go onion. So similar to what you do, take the end off it. And the onion is softened down, but it's not completely cooked all the way through. Go ahead and get rid of them kind of outer layers. Okay, now just take the root off and then roughly cut it. We don't need to cut it too fine because we are going to blend this anyway. All of that can go into the Dutch oven. Okay, same story with our tomatoes. So these are really soft, so we're just taking these bits of skin off. It almost comes off in one piece. And we just want to take that stalk off as well. Keep everything else the same, just drop it in. We don't want to lose too much of the moisture out of them either, so try to be gentle. So we'll do that with the rest of our tomatoes, and then we'll come back and go on with the rest of our ingredients. Okay, we have everything cut down here and in. all looks pretty nice. A few other ingredients just to go in now. So our little garlic bulb that we had roasted down, we tease it open. Hopefully it is nice and soft, and we can just squeeze that out. So those kind of roasted garlic cloves, roast garlic is an unbelievable flavour, so I can only imagine it will make the soup 10 times better. Like I mentioned, we're going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes in there as well, just to kind of give us a little bit of extra richness. We have the lemon, chilli and garlic rub that we'd used before, so we're going to give a nice seasoning of it. And then we have our homemade chicken stock. So 500 mils chicken stock going in as well. Everything's obviously cold at the minute, so we need to get that onto the barbecue now. We'll continue to cook down those tomatoes, soften the onions up a little bit more. It'll take on a little bit of smoke from the barbecue as well, but we're not adding any extra in there. So we'll move over and get this put on. Okay, our grates are on the lowest level. Temperature in the barbecue is sitting around 200, 225 Celsius that is. We'll set that down in there, let it warm up, get it bubbling a little bit, and then we're going to blend it all together. Okay, we are bubbling away nicely, as you can see. We've been going for 15-20 minutes or so with the lid on. I don't want to reduce it down too much at the minute. The whole point is to kind of cook down anything that's still not quite as soft as it should be, kind of get all those flavours going together as well. But I think I'm happy at this point now to give it a go over with the stick blender. So I have the Kenwood stick blender with the metal attachment on it. I'm going to lift it off to actually blend it down. I don't want to do it over the flames and end up catching the lid of my mixer. So we'll lift it off, get it blended down, and then back on. And at that stage we can give it a taste, see what we want to add to it seasonings wise, and then we're pretty much just simmering it down a little bit until it's thick. Okay, let's blend it up. The consistency is actually pretty good. I don't think we're going to have to simmer this for too long, but I do want to give it a taste and just see if there's anything else we want to add to it. So it needs a little bit of sweetness to it. I can kind of already get a little bit of heat off the garlic, or off that rub from the smoky carter. Needs a touch of salt and pepper. Let's just do it as we're going. So good grinding of salt, pepper, lots of it. I like pepper in the soup anyway, so might as well add it now. Okay, and sugar. Not going to go crazy to start with. Maybe a couple of tablespoons. All the mix in to combine it. Right, let's try that. Closer. Don't think I want any more sweetness. I do want a touch more salt. Then we'll add just another little pinch of the rub. I think that's going to be good. So we'll get this back onto the barbecue now to simmer. I'm going to leave lid off this time as we're reducing down, so we don't want that steam to come up onto the Dutch oven lid and then drip back down in again. We want to kind of burn off some of that steam. So we will get it on. It's not going to take very long because it is quite thick already, but it just needs a little touch more. Then it's time to dish up a bowl, get a final taste of it. Okay, before the rain comes along and ruins everything, it's time to give it a taste. So, there's two schools of thought with soup. Some like it nice and kind of watery with chunks in it. Some like it blended up and thicker. 100% on the thicker side. In fact, I would almost go to say the reason I like soup is to dip stuff in it. So that is why I made up these kind of like cheese toasty dipping fingers. I could have about 15 of these with one bowl of this, so let's give it a go. Give it a dip round. Yes, that's the one. The tomato soup's the tomato soup. There is a little smokiness of it, but adding in that rub, perfect kick of heat off it as well. The roast garlic's kind of coming through in it too. I was kind of worried about putting the whole bulb in there. I thought that might be a bit much, but absolutely not. Perfect. Not too much effort to make it either, which is quite nice. So I'll leave the recipe down below if you want to give it a try yourself. Let me know if you do and if you do like it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.